Welcome back to Crypto Comics, all you beautiful people in Webtown. I hope you are having a pleasant evening tonight as we continue Rob Liefeld Appreciation Month here on Rob Liefeld's birthday. And as promised, I'm going to go through the other side of Youngblood Strikefile. This is a story written by Rob Liefeld and Eric Stevenson and drawn by the epic, absolutely epic Jae Lee. Now, if you recall, Jae Lee is responsible for the Wildcats trilogy that we reviewed here previously. He is also responsible for the Hellshock issue number 1 that we also reviewed previously. And this is another comic that permanently etched his name into the minds of comic book fans in the 1990s. And we're going to get right into it. This involves Spawn. This involves Jason Wynn. This involves Al Simmons and Chapel's relationship. Chapel personal log entry. It's about 6 years back. Time's around midnight. The agency located a cybernet safe house on the outskirts of St. Louis. And it's up to Simmons, Duke, and me to shut their operation down before it's completely up and running. Should have been a cakewalk. Trouble was, the job had setup written all over it. Unfortunately, though, the agency doesn't pay us to think. We're paid to act, so that's what we do. Cybernet's operation is state-of-the-art. There's not a doubt in my mind that they know we're here. Not that it does them much good. With the element of surprise gone, we decide against sneaking in the back door, opting instead to knock down the front. As we close in on the safe house, we encounter a handful of Cybernet agents and used a lot of them for target practice. They go down pretty quick, even for cannon fodder. Simmons jokes that things are going too smoothly, and it occurs to me again that we've been set up. Whatever the case, though, I put it out of my mind. The fact that we walk right up to the main entrance without meeting with any further resistance practically confirms it. Whatever the case, though, I put it out of my mind as me and the boys kick Operation Night Strike into high gear. Inside, it's just as suspected. A wall-to-wall welcoming party, Cybernet style. Not that we mind much. Beautiful, beautiful. That is a 2-page spread by Jae Lee. Fine artwork. The Cybernet freaks put up a better fight than the ones outside. And for a few seconds, it looks like we might actually have to work for our pay this time. But just as quickly as it started, the whole thing's over and done with. And it ain't these blasted cyborgs that get up and walk away. Check it out, fellas. Cybernet's best. Humbled again. And now that we've taken the servants out of the picture, let's see how long it takes for the master to show his face. I'd be careful what I wished for if I were you, old friend. You never know when your wish might actually come true. Geiger. I must say I'm flattered, Chapel. It's not every day Central Intelligence sends its top operatives to pay me a visit. Yeah, well, you can rest assured that this ain't no Avon lady calling, Geiger. So I see. Although your continued obsession with that ghoulish makeup would certainly put you in the prime position to work for them as a spokesman. Good. Then maybe I'll give them a call after I'm done wiping up this place with your miserable ass. Ever the tough guy, aren't we, old friend? Now, we're going to kind of skip through. You can watch all this. He turns on Duke and just shoots him right through the mouth and out the back of his head. The agency doesn't look too fondly on traitors, Duke, old boy. Maybe next time you'll think twice before selling your CI brothers down the river. Damn, I almost forgot. There won't be a next time. Boom! Al and Chapel barely make an escape from that massive explosion. 3 days later, we're back in Washington, D.C. All in all, you boys did a fantastic job. It's a pity you all couldn't be here to enjoy the rewards of your success, though. What happened with Agent Duke was unfortunate. But I think you'll agree with me when I say this serves as an excellent example of what happens when one chooses to cross the organization. Hopefully, we'll all be able to learn from Duke's mistakes and move on. And Al Simmons here, Spawn, some of you may know him as Spawn. Yeah, well, that's the part I'm still not too clear on, Jason. What exactly did Duke do? You know as well as I do that I'm not permitted to discuss the particulars of Duke's case with you, Al. Let's just say he did his best to amass a considerable body of evidence against himself during the last several months, and leave it at that, shall we? And please, let's try not to dwell on this any more than necessary. Dissecting Duke's many shortcomings will benefit no one, least of all yourself. With that, we're out of here. Fast forward 5 years, and I'm in Wynn's office again. The last few years have brought a lot of changes. Simmons is dead. I moved out of CI and hooked up with Youngblood, but Wynn is as powerful as he ever was. Just goes to show, some things never do change. It's been a long time, Chapel. Youngblood certainly seems to keep you busy. So busy, in fact, you can't even drop by to visit your old boss. I'm here now, Wynn. You got 5 minutes. Very well. Then I'll get to my point. A case has fallen into my hands that I feel requires your considerable talents. I realize we parted ways on less than amicable terms, but You can save your breath, Wynn. I'm not interested. That's too bad. You know, it would be a shame if your adoring public, not to mention the media, were suddenly made privy to the sordid details of your past. A shame for you and me both if you want to try something like that. I ain't your boy no more, Wynn. You'd be doing yourself a favor if you remembered that next time you want to threaten me. Got it? Ah, Chapel. Still the arrogant fool, aren't we? How very unfortunate. Ava, I need you to pull up a number from my Rolodex for me. I believe you'll find it under G. The name is Geiger. To be continued. Right now. It's going to be continued right now. In Youngblood Strikefile number 2. Look at that cover. Isn't that dope? Sometimes, even I can't believe how lucky I am to be part of the whole Youngblood thing. For all the garbage we've got to put up with, there's just as many times when all of it just seems like one big party. Wine, women, more women. Yeah, sometimes I just can't believe my luck. These guys are sneaking in, obviously. Crash! And with good reason. Takes about a second for me to figure out these suckers are state-of-the-art cybernet war dogs. Unfortunately, I'm about a second too late. Blam, blam, blam! And this dame, she just gets capped moments after making sweet, sweet love to this handsome, buff African-American gentleman. It's too bad, you know? It's too bad. She was down with the swirl in the 90s, and that's cool. I might as well be moving in slow motion as I watch the girl get hit hard 3 times. Any questions either of us might have had about this being more than a one-night stand are rendered moot as she collapses in my arms. Needless to say, what happens next isn't pretty. Prophet shows up. No, just kidding. It's just an advertisement. Cash! When all's said and done, my loft's wearing a hole the size of the Holland Tunnel, and I'm no closer to understanding what just happened here than I was when all this started. After all these years, why would Geiger sick his dogs on me now? Less than a second later, I got my answer. Greetings, old friend. As you may have guessed by now, the primary motivation behind this attack was to gain your attention. Assuming I've done that, I'll be brief. Meet me down on the docks tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Oh, and in case it hasn't occurred to you yet, this unit will self-destruct in 10 seconds. Boom! So he goes down to the docks, right? And Geiger here explains that he was hired by Wynn to take him out. But Geiger wants Chapel to kill Wynn. That's where you come in. I want you to kill Wynn. I think it's a fairly simple deal. You kill Wynn, thereby saving me the trouble of doing so myself, and I let you live. For now. Blam, blam, blam. I can't say that was unexpected. What's the matter? Have you gone soft in your old age? Killing innocent people used to be no problem for you. Now you're telling me you won't kill a man easily as evil as myself? What happened, Chapel?
Did all the killing finally get to you?
That's it, Geiger. You've had it.
You're making a mistake, Chapel. I'm doing you a favor.
I'll see you in hell, Geiger. Blam, blam, blam. That's how you do it. That's how you smite your enemies.
Did you truly think I'd be foolish enough to come in person? I'd watch my back if I were you, Chapel. This isn't over yet.
Concludes next issue. It's all built up. This is all built up. Really exciting. Really super exciting. Oh, and then we get to this one. Youngblood Strikefile number 3. On the backside, Jae Lee. Washington, D.C., the past. Now this is some interesting insight into Chapel's history. And it's kind of like a letdown. It's really interesting to see this part of Chapel's past, but it doesn't actually have anything to do with this story. And so like the big impactful conclusion you're expecting after he just shot the fake Geiger in the head it's not here. I just don't want to let you down. It's not here, but you're going to learn something interesting about Chapel now. Good morning, Mr. Stinson. How are we feeling today?
I feel fine. Are we going to get started with this or what? I ain't got all day.
A few minutes. Anderson, cardio tech? Steady, sir. We're excellent. I trust, Mr. Stinson, that apart from the relative inconvenience of these weekly visits, you are satisfied with the results of our handiwork?
I ain't complaining. Whatever you guys are shooting me up with, it makes me feel better than I've felt in my entire life. I just wish you were quicker about it.
These things take time, Mr. Stinson. After all, we're making you the best there is. Surely you don't expect us to rush through something like that, do you? Now, sit back and relax. We're ready to begin.
About freaking time.
So he's just getting juiced up, dude. He's on the gas big time, you know. There you are, Mr. Stinson. One more step toward becoming the finest operative the agency has ever had. Bigger, stronger, more agile than all the others. Just keep coming in on schedule, and everything should continue to progress quite nicely.
Yeah, I bet you're not kidding either. Don't worry about me, Doc. I'll keep coming back. As long as this stuff keeps pumping me up the way it's been doing. I'd be a fool not to. Hey, Al. What are you doing hanging around back here like a fly on the wall?
Waiting for you, bud. Girl up front said I'd find you down here. So here I am.
You sure you ain't down here to get the same treatments I've been coming for?
What, those injections? Not a chance, buddy. Wanda and I are still trying to have a baby. The last thing I need is for Wynn's techno geeks to fill me up with God knows what kind of chemicals. Yeah, I'm not too sure what this stuff is they're giving me, but as long as it keeps producing the same results, I don't care. I mean, look at me, Al. Have you ever seen a more perfect specimen? Only every time I look in the mirror. Enough of the funny stuff, though, Bruce. Have you ever seriously talked to Wynn about what goes into those injections? Or how long you have to take them? No, and I don't see why I should either. Wynn wouldn't let him do anything to hurt us. We're like gold to him. Yeah, right. If you ask me, he's been acting kind of funny lately. As a matter of fact, I don't think he's ever been quite the same since he had us kill Duke. The present. Yeah, you had me fooled real good, didn't you, Wynn? That's okay, though. I just want to read him like Mr. T. Ooh, yeah, I want to fly like an eagle. That's okay, though. Because after I'm done with you tonight, you're going to look me in the eye and beg me to forgive you for everything you've done to me. Everything you made me do. The thing is, though, I ain't going to be in a very forgiving mood.
McLean, Virginia, 1 hour later. Snicked? No, it's not Wolverine, don't worry.
Brr, 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 brr. Okay, Wynn. Enough fun and games. Time to get down to business. Wynn!
No need to shout, Chapel. I'm right here. And you're late. I was expecting you hours ago. You didn't seriously think your little rendezvous with our good friend, Mr. Geiger, went without my notice, did you? You, of all people, should know by now that nothing escapes my watchful eye.
Yeah? Then I guess you know I'm here to kill you, huh?
Of course. But before you get on with it, there's something I think you should know about yourself. I probably should have told you before, but somehow
I always seem to overlook it. Whatever the case, have you ever wondered what was in those injections we were giving you during your time in my employ?
What are you talking about?
Those injections made you the man you are today, Chapel. Did you truly think the agency would endow you with such power without preparing in advance for potential problems?
Yeah, that's what Bloodstrike's for, isn't it?
You poor, naive fool. You still don't realize where this is heading, do you? Some 20 years ago, someone in research and development stumbled upon a highly lethal virus. Such was the nature of one particular strain of the virus that our government chose to release it into the populace as a form of population control. Over time, the agency saw its usefulness as a method of controlling potentially dangerous agents, perfecting a more controllable offshoot strain of the disease that could be activated by our command. In the event that our Bloodstrike unit fails to properly deal with a given situation, we activate the virus.
What? You're telling me that our government created the AIDS virus? Sorry, Wynn. You're no Oliver Stone, and your little conspiracy theory ain't gonna wash with me.
Think what you will, but what I'm telling you is quite true. You'll find no record of my claims anywhere, no book that outlines its discovery, but it does exist, and you have it. For so long you've adorned yourself as the living dead. Now you truly are. You should also know that I have disclosed your illness to the heads of the Youngblood organization this morning. If and when you return to Youngblood headquarters, you will be discharged on the basis of having the HIV virus. In the event you attempt to pin the blame on the agency and myself, I will deny everything. Not that anyone would believe you in the first place. Your blatant promiscuity will make it very difficult for anyone to believe you're anything more than a shamed boy who cried wolf. Don't bother trying to talk your way out of this one, Chapel, because no one will listen to you. And on the off chance that they do, they'll think you're crazy.
No! I ain't going down alone, Wynn. I can still kill you.
And you're more than welcome to. But before you do, I think you should know. I have the cure. What do you want? I thought that'd get your attention. Consider this, old friend. You have no one to turn to, nowhere to run. Your luck, as the saying goes, has run out. We had a wonderful partnership together before, Chapel, and I'm not so insensitive as to overlook that. If you want to live, you know where to reach me. Click.
The end? I guess so. I mean, it continues later in Youngblood and Spawn issues. But for Youngblood Strikefile, that's the end. So you don't get a big fight between Chapel and Geiger. Doesn't happen. But you do get an interesting anecdote as to Chapel's history, his substance abuse, his performance-enhancing drug abuse that led him to have AIDS. I mean, like, he got AIDS. Like Shadowhawk got AIDS, you know? Same thing. Very sad. And very brave of Rob Liefeld and Jim Valentino. All the image creators were very willing to address contemporary issues, you know? Spawn killed a child molester. Shadowhawk dies from AIDS. Chapel has to deal with the HIV virus himself, and how he deals with it is entirely different than how Jim Valentino's Shadowhawk dealt with it. But that is Youngblood Strikefile's first story arc within the first 3 issues from the spring and summer of 1993. This has been Rob Liefeld Appreciation Month on Crypto Comics, and we are just getting started. So please, hit that thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe and hit that ding-dong for notifications, because I'm coming back each and every day with another totally awesome Rob Liefeld comic book. Whether it's from Marvel, Image, Maximum Press, Extreme Studios, Awesome Entertainment, we're going to talk about it all right here on Crypto Comics. And hey, if you like these comic book reviews, if you like the read-throughs we do of totally awesome comics from the 1990s, please consider backing my comic book. That's right, your boy Crypto wrote a comic book. It's called Megawatt versus the Vampires of the Sun. and it's available right now on Kickstarter. Just go to megawattcomic.com, and I'll see you tomorrow for more Rob Liefeld comic books here on Crypto Comics.